What's up?
And Chris.
Hi.
And Marty.
What up?
Those two might peter out sooner than later because they stayed up till wee hours of the morning to play a little AOS.
True.
They have been pulled in by the beast that is GW. We will talk about GW because they've gone beastie on the third world markets. Third world markets?
No.
Third-party markets?
Third
Third-party
We
markets?
knew what you meant.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about Solo Wargaming and much more. After this, if I ever get my act together in a day and a half. All right, here we go.
Big Duke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on War Up. Sing it loud. And the Romeo Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
You are listening to the Sitrep Podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Hit it.
Hit it. Chat. Tuffy Ears is reporting for duty already.
Good
in the
morning.
house early.
Woo!
Just on it.
Wow. All right, kids. Wherever you are in the wide blue marble of Earth, welcome. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
It's true.
We are going to talk historicals.
Not
We're going
much
to talk
news.
Disney.
Woo!
We're going to talk GW because GW appears
That is less than a woo.
to have thrown a big wrench in the retail market. We'll talk about it. We'll get everybody's opinion on it. However, first, it is that time. Ladies first. What have you been doing, Dawn?
What have I been doing? Lorcana. That's what I've been doing. I know the newest set 3, which is Into the Inklings, dropped yesterday for pre-orders, and I got 4 boxes.
All of them.
Yeah. And the funny story is, and Chris, this is partially your fault. It isn't your fault, but
I was going to say, what did I do on this one?
Chris tagged me in a post on Facebook with somebody, that received their shipment of Inklings. And I said, oh, I'm so excited. I'm picking up my cards tomorrow. That was on Thursday. And then I got to thinking, I haven't gotten an email from the game store saying my stuff is ready, which is very unusual because like the day before you'll get an email with a time to come in and pick up your stuff. So I go back in my emails and I'm looking for my order and I couldn't find one. And I thought, oh my God, did I just think I did it and not order it? Like I found the previous 2 things that I had done. And I thought,
You were
crap.
dreaming.
So I ordered 2 boxes. And then about 2 hours later, I got 2 emails from the store saying both of my orders are ready for pickup at 10 o'clock in the morning. No, but here's the thing. I won. And this was a perfect opportunity.
How did you win?
To tell Bill about girl math, which is, it's like I got 2 boxes for free because I had already paid for the other 2 boxes. I only had to pay for the 2 boxes that I ordered Thursday. So 4 boxes. I know, right? Carry the 2. Yeah.
They said there'd be no math. Way too early for this shit.
I'd like to review your bank statement.
Marty, we're not going to talk about that. But the cards are awesome.
Compared to what Bill's been dropping.
I know. He just got artist opus brushes.
You did not, Chris.
He did. Well,
because
I'm not an idiot.
Usually get in trouble for enabling you, and so I enabled Dawn one time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So what I'm hearing is you should be mad at him for being the great enabler.
Yeah,
that's true. Marty, you get a pass on this one.
That's right. That's right. Tuffy Ears ain't gonna give me a pass. She'll be on my ass later.
No, that is true. That is true. But yeah, so I think all things considered, I did awesome in the boxes. So out of 4 boxes, I got 2 enchanteds. Those are the top level rarity.
Super,
and Jafar.
Oh well, yeah, Jafar was one of the enchanteds, and
he's worth.
Oh, well, that already has started to look different because everybody else has been opening their stuff. When I opened him, he was worth $349. it's dropped now to like 220. But
You
and
need
then
me to go kneecap some dudes for you? We'll get
yeah,
that back up.
no, it's okay. And like I said, I like
Shred 'em.
looking at what the card values are, but they're my cards. They're my babies. I'm not selling them anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's just fun to look at it and see
You would
what
not
I
have
spent on the
sold-
boxes versus what
You
the
would
card
not have
values are.
sold the one ring.
So, well, for what it went for.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, that is a different
Children's a
story
strong word.
altogether. For normal people cards, yeah, I would.
You're 18.
I'll
Time to
just
get
hold
out of the
on.
house. Make your way in the world.
If Post
Yeah.
Malone was downstairs at your doorstep, knock, 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 I heard you got Jafar.
Okay, now that's a different conversation altogether. Would I sell the card then? Yes, I would, because I would make bank and I would get something with his autograph on it, which I would also sell and make bank. So
There you go.
that
There
would
you go.
work. But anyway, so yeah,
So
I'm just
what-
in my sorting glory. And
What's up with this scraggly old lion? What's so important about him?
scraggly
Wait.
old lion?
What are you
That
talking
is
about?
no. Who?
No, Jafar's the villain from Aladdin.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. What am I thinking of?
You're thinking Scar.
Well, Chris,
Scar.
no one's ever accused you of that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
So, but the big things in this set is they introduced a new type of card and a new mechanic. And so there are location cards, which will be really cool. So it'll totally change the way the game plays. And this set is also very heavy in 101 Dalmatian story. And they did kind of what Magic did in the Lord of the Rings set with the Nazguls, because of course there's 99 puppies and 101 Dalmatians. And so they allow you to use potentially 99 copies of these puppies in your deck. That would be silly unless you're playing Commander or something. But
I'm running
Yeah.
the all puppy deck.
exactly. So I'm definitely going to be making one of those. And then there is a whole bunch of Titans in this set too. So there's a pretty good Hercules theme
Nice.
going on.
Hercules.
Exactly. And so the Titans are pretty sweet, and I'm going to have to do something with those. That's what I've been doing.
Right.
Oh, and Adepticon prep. I've been full on Adepticon researching. That's pretty much been my week.
For anybody out there that needs event planning, spreadsheet creating, and things,
I'm your girl.
hire
Lists,
her out.
Turns out, yeah, that's the one.
Recon
right
and
there.
lists. Yes.
24 days, 22 hours, 37 minutes. and
Every day
19
she
seconds.
doesn't let anybody forget they're going to Disney. I'm just
That is
putting it out
also
there.
true.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I was happy that I finally was able to contribute something to the chat.
I know. See, there you go.
right.
It was
Yeah.
even better when Jeff did the one day. Cause
right.
Brandy was
I-
like, "You posted in the chat? What?" Yeah.
Yeah, like
so
out of the
yeah.
blue. Boink. Hey.
Yeah. And she said he announced he was going to do it. For any of you guys that don't know, we're doing a big Disney trip for a birthday that I'm having in April. It's a big one. And
Wait a minute, stop the press.
Oh,
what?
Damon, did you get your
Damon.
coffee machine fixed?
Oh,
woo. Yeah, you know, do we need to send reinforcements?
yeah. Do we need a well-being check? That's probably more
Wait a minute,
important. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
hold on. Did you say well-being or well-being?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
You did that.
And yes.
Wait a minute. Where's Damon at?
He's in Australia, right?
That's what I thought. I'm like, I can't send anybody. I don't know.
I know. That's yeah.
Damon
I mean,
is
I'm
the
willing to go.
Australian, I
Who
know.
do we know?
I can't, I'm not gonna.
I'm
be able
willing to
save
go.
him. I mean,
I mean, I'll hop on a plane. I'll go.
Enough to get a full cup. Okay.
that's what counts. Yeah, Dark's turn
Yes.
is 21.
Oh, Duffy, you're officially my favorite.
Yeah,
The title is all yours. Yes,
gonna-
21
We're gonna celebrate the 29th
for more than
anniversary
twice.
of it.
So yeah, but we're doing this big Disney trip, and I have a group chat for those of us going, and I've been throwing stupid TikToks in there and whatever, and it's just been fun. And so my bestie's husband is one of the people going, and he does not talk in the chat at all. And so
all.
when he went to put something silly in there the other day, he announced to her, "I'm putting something in the chat." It's like, who needs to say they're going to do it? It just was cute. So
Cool.
yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
Damon
Marty.
has some word. Hold on. Damon has some words for you there, Bill.
Oh, sorry. My
Ah.
bad. Well, that's easier. I can go to England quicker than go to Australia. Listen, the people in Australia are offshoots of the British, anyways. All right.
The
Sorry.
Brits might have something to say about that, as well as
I don't
the
think I'm
Maori.
getting into the UK anytime soon.
Right? Yeah. Sorry, sir. Your passport is not. It's not working here.
What Damon wants you to know is he didn't lose the Great Emu War.
That is true. That is true. I apologize wholeheartedly, Damon. We'll send you a box of tea. We might have a one or two floating around in the Boston Harbor. Oh,
Keep digging. Jeez.
Marty, what are you up to?
I am not digging tea out of the harbor. Yeah. So, anywho,
Listen, Tuffy. All right, I can make mistakes. My apologies. Do you know how hard it is to keep track of everybody and where they're from?
I mean that's why I asked, because I didn't know,
Yeah.
because I couldn't remember, and I do know that we have a Damon in Australia. At least,
Yes.
I don't know if he's.
And Damon, it won't be
regularly on
soaked in
with that.
salt water, but I'll send you some iced sweet tea.
Oh, here we go. Sweet.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
Oh boy.
You want some sweet
Hope you're
tea?
not diabetic.
Anyways, Marty, what have you been
So-
up to, sir?
Lots of hobby stuff. So,
Yep.
you remember a few weeks ago, Chris and I were helping our buddy Steve with his little Holy Havoc tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the day that I won the raffle without actually winning anything, because none of my numbers got called, but Chris had like 9 of his called. Maria had one of hers called. Maria's my
Mhm.
daughter, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, none of mine got called. But so anywho, basically I got all the stuff from that. And in getting all the stuff from that, one of the things I got was a Dominion starter box for AOS. I have now built all of that.
Wow.
And that was how many models?
Well, between that and the other models that I had that I've that I won in the raffle and sort of accumulated, because it did a little bit of horse trading too. It was 136 models, I think,
Wow.
Gosh.
something like that. Yeah. So I finished last night, the last one. I currently have 3 armies working.
Good for you.
So
Nice.
Sorry,
Also-
Tuffy,
I've got-
that
hold
is
on.
correct. I could have called Damon French. I
Oh.
apologize.
Ooh,
wow,
yeah.
shot
To my French
fired.
friends, Greg, wherever
Yeah.
you are, if you're listening,
Now,
I didn't say it. Tuffy
No.
here said it.
now,
It's not Greg you got to worry about. It's Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Because she's not French, but she really wants to be. But
Yeah.
she's American and she's from Ohio. She'll come over and wreck your shit.
yeah.
so so anyway, I did that. Additionally, I finished my my who'd you call it? It's my
What'd you call it?
here.
I don't
Skaven?
know that faction.
I finished these dudes.
Oh
I
yeah.
just need to put their what you call it, clear coat on them. Their matte
Mm.
varnish, and
Nice.
bam, done. So it's my African regulars, and then I have 8 African militia to do at some point, but they're gonna sit in the box for a minute because
That's fair.
I currently have so much other stuff. I also I have a model to be entered into the Badger Games painting
I was
contest.
just
at
going to
Adepticon.
ask you that.
Yeah, I haven't even primed it yet. I
Okay.
really need to. I think that dude probably needs to go next. Of course,
Yeah.
you have girl math. I have hobby math.
That,
So I'm
that's
like,
fair.
Well, if
You
I'm
got
gonna
time. All
prime
the time in the world.
this
Might
one
as well
guy,
prime everything.
I should build everything and then just prime it all at once.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
That
that's
tracks.
kind of why he's been on hold. But I finished everything yesterday afternoon at like 4. I finished my last one. So
Nice.
And he showed
what I
up to
had.
the game with everything in a Ziploc bag.
Did you?
and I
Yeah,
left my
hey.
battle scrolls at home.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to play.
Yeah. Hey
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. Not as bad as I whooped Chris, but it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you got held up by, some little puppies
How
for
how
almost
many
the whole game.
I'm sorry, how many were left and how many of my guys did they kill?
Killed them all.
Yeah, no,
but,
keep the crickets going because that's the right answer.
Yeah. I held them up for a lot longer than it should have.
Yeah, they damn sure did. That's why I annihilated them. But
Mm-hmm.
man,
Steve's like, you can hit this guy over here to win the game or take the one guy out. I'm going after the one guy.
Oh.
Jeez.
Yep, I did that. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, these guys bring lightning from the sky. If not, you about to find out.
Yeah.
Prepare to defend yourself.
He was pissed because I
boy.
kept dropping spells on him, which took away 2/3 of his.
Yeah, it took away my charges and took away my my attacks. I was
Yeah.
mad.
Hey,
So-
I got 3 attacks. No, you don't. You got 1.
Mhm.
Turns out it's all I need to beat his guys, but whatever.
Yeah, it took
Oh.
you 4 rounds though, instead
It's
of
not
1.
true. They were only on the table one turn.
You tread a lot.
Yeah.
But a good time was had.
That's true, Tuffy. I'm old school though. I like having the cards.
You can't read
know.
the cards.
I can't read the fucking phone either.
You can't read.
Yeah, listen to me talk. Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so we played this game last night. That's the other thing, if you haven't figured it out. Yeah, so we played AOS last night. Chris and I don't know the rules, just for the record. Let's throw that out there. We sort of know how the game's played. We like the concept of it.
Yeah.
We have our own little dude. So we when I say that, we can put about 1,000 points down. So we don't have a full 2,000 point army. So we played a game that was me, Chris, and another friend of ours, Steve. And Steve is super AOS guy.
Yeah, knows all the
Yes.
rules
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. So we didn't play with all of the rules. We played basic core rules, and that was it. None of the faction specialties or battalions or any of that shit. Because Chris
we
and I
kept
don't know what
hearing
they
about-
are, and it just slows us down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last
So-
2 turns took half as long as the first turn.
But yeah, so let's see. We probably started
got
back
started
throwing
about
dice
7.
around 8. No, it was
No,
probably
it
it was
wasn't.
later than that. And then
yeah. Oh, that's right. You were late to that
we
too.
left at I think we wrapped up at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
All right.
yeah.
Chris?
So that's me in a nutshell for hobby
Okay.
stuff.
So I'm going to enjoy this for the rest of the show because I'm sure about 3 minutes after the show is over, I will no longer be able to say this. I have more paint on my armies than Marty does.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, that merits. Bravo, sir.
No, he doesn't.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, technically, I do because I bought those, motherfucker.
You don't need to say that. Yeah.
Who painted it?
Yeah, okay, but still.
And who's now going to
keep?
keep them?
No,
French
but
You really shouldn't have said that while I have the rest of that starter set here too.
yeah, no,
Because I painted
Mistakes
all the
were
rest of
made.
that.
yeah. But no, I actually have one unit's got some paint on it.
Yeah, he does. He's got he's got a little bit of paint on his wolves. They're coming along, or
Nice.
dire
Yep. Dire
bitches, or
wolves.
whatever the fuck they are.
Tar pit
Cool.
for you, baby.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Bill, what you been up to?
Not a damn thing. No.
Been
That's not
spending
true.
money.
Yeah.
Spending
I
on
can't
money.
say anything.
Well, my
Yeah.
Artist Opus paintbrushes came in, and boy, are they nice. They're real nice.
It better
Have
be.
have you used them yet?
No, I'm afraid to.
So, all right. Fair enough.
We're just
So
gonna
when
look
you
at
say
them.
Artist Opus, he's got like 5 series of brushes.
He bought
what
'em all.
brushes did you get?
I bought the D series, the S series, and the M series.
All right, so
So
you got the dry
Dry
brush.
The standard regular
the
brushes and
regular-
then the detail brushes.
Okay,
So
I was
basically,
gonna say
it
the
sounds
little
like
ones,
I'm
right? Yeah.
entitled to 3 boxes more of cards.
My paintbrushes were
Easily.
less than your 4 boxes of cards. How much was a box of cards?
$130.
Yes, mine were less. Mine was $3.50.
I was gonna say that's only because you only bought 3
I
and she
bought-
bought 4.
It's
Because
true.
a box of those brushes costs as much as a box of Lurgata.
That is fair.
So what I just heard is go buy another box of brushes, Bill.
Stop.
Well,
up.
That's what I
Adepticon's coming
got
up,
out
and
of
they're
it.
going to be
Yeah,
at
ser-
Adepticon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything left?
Yeah, Byron was there the whole time last year.
Was he?
Yep.
I've been
Yeah,
watching a
him
lot
and-
of his videos. I like his teaching style. And I'll be honest with you, I like their palette. They use a
The dry
texture palette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't use a wet palette. You know,
Right.
everything's done off of this texture palette. So
I really I agree with you. I really like his style, and he's got the fancy dry palette
Everything.
going on, right?
yeah,
Let's get the fancy everything.
There's mine.
yep.
Yep. There you go.
It's just a piece of MDF that has enough paint on it that it's now a texture palette.
Yep.
Ingenuity.
But
Yeah.
well, I'm like, I got them. Why
Yeah.
not?
But we're also going to be making some too.
I mean, you may recognize it more this way, as it's one of the leftover bases from our Rourke's Drift game.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
How many more of those do you have?
Oh no, small stack, like that many.
Hi, Donna.
Oh,
Ah.
she brought coffee.
Oh,
That's nice.
I win wife of the
That's-
century. Woo! Hey Damon,
Oh,
that's how we do it here in America.
America.
And there goes
Just-
the second war.
Just for
independence.
proof of life, so nobody thinks I'm
yeah.
BSing.
Proof of life.
Uh-huh.
There's no date assigned to that.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks
Mm.
for alienating our audience, Marty. That's great.
I didn't call him French.
Yeah. And he
I mean,
didn't call him Australian either.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, hey. My bad. All right. So other than the brushes, what else do we do? We've been doing a lot of prep work.
Yep. Gearing up for.
I've been
Adepticon.
working with a designer for a convention booth.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Looking good.
I'd love to share it with you. I could share it with you guys. Let me. I can give you a rough draft of it so people can see what we're talking about.
Make them come out to the show to see.
Right?
Well, not everybody can come to the show, Chris.
Yes, they can.
It's a preview of what they will see
Thank you,
during our
Marty.
show coverage.
Okay. All right.
How's that?
We were talking to people who came
Sneak
from
peek.
London last year.
We did, but you know,
Now,
No, Marty
Speak-
and I did.
Speaking of which, we were talking about people from London. Although I don't know if he's actually from London. I don't know where he's at.
who?
But Byron from Artis Opus, he and what's his name, Ross from Fohammer, they were there the whole time. I had a good time. I chatted with Byron a little bit, but as you can imagine, he's widely known, hugely popular. So
Mhm.
everybody wanted to talk to him. But Ross and I had a pretty good conversation. I mean, like, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Nice.
And,
There's the
talking
booth.
about 3D printing.
That's what our booth is going to look like. So we're in the final approval stages, and then we'll get her done, and then
Yep.
we'll have that booth. We got the space. We talked to Rafferty, and we're all good. So we'll have a booth there with a little screen highlighting that, and then if we do any live, we'll be doing the podcast that Saturday because that is our regular scheduled podcast day. So we'll be doing it from the floor.
Mhm.
And we are hosting a pizza party Friday night after, what did we say, 8:00 ish? At our booth at the Hyatt, the historical thing. So we'll have, and for
Good pizza.
good pizza. And for giveaways, we are creating some just little easy giveaways. So there'll be that. We're working on a couple other things. So we've been busy with prepping for Adepticon.
Mhm.
And then in the meantime, I have to go back to Illinois in a couple weeks to go to a class. So
Call me
yeah.
sometime when you have no
We have
class.
no class.
yeah, right.
And we might have cameo appearances by at least 2 daughters.
Yeah. Can't you do it from a chair like normal people?
No.
What?
Tough ears, you take that back. You don't call us normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I start now.
We're 5 years in. They're not on to us yet.
Right. How about it?
All right, let's talk about some news, shall we?
Hold on, I have a hobby related
go
question
ahead.
for you.
Go ahead.
Did you pre-order wave 3 of Tooth and Coats?
Can I get to the news first?
No.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Funny you should ask.
What a
I was gonna
segue.
say,
Let's go to the
last time
Kickstarter page, shall
you were
we?
gonna.
So here are my back projects right now.
Oh my God! Hold up your Kickstarter page. Woo!
So yes, as you can see, wave 3 back.
Hold on. Stop the presses. Successful pledges, 76 projects.
Yeah.
76
Trombones
trombones
led
led
the
the
big
big parade.
Yes. What about it?
Damn, bro.
And the-
I'm a small fry.
and
There are
those-
people that have hundreds.
Those are just bills because I have my own separate Kickstarter account
Right.
and I have stuff. And
That's
now I have
because
a GameFound account because I backed something just now on GameFound.
Right.
So
Right.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think all the zombicides moved over to.
yeah, Simon
Simon.
moved exclusively over to GameFound.
Yeah. So as you can see, I do have Duncan Roads, Two Thin Coats, Wave 3. We got 9 days to go on that one. So I've been looking forward to that to add to my collection. I really like the paint. If you saw last Sunday's video, I did use that paint. I compared his one shade of gray to Pro Acryl, and they were pretty close in color match. And I thought both of them were silky smooth, much better than some of the other paints I've used in the
Nice.
past.
So, how many shades of gray did you try?
50.
See what you did there.
And then obviously Epic Warpath from Mantic is going on. There's 5 days to go on that one. It's kind of plateaued. I was hoping to see more people. I mean, it's fine. It's still going to get produced. But it is Mantic's answer to Legion Imperialis from Games Workshop. And we'll talk about a little bit about GW, but GW is really stepping in it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then lastly, I have backed Rugged Hills Design Master Tiles.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Yep.
So these are 3D printable tiles that you can create different things with. I just need a 3D printer
I was
now.
going to say, if there's just one problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a problem. That's
No.
just solution waiting to happen.
Correct. So we'll be getting those. So that takes care of Kickstarter updates, at least for me.
When does this last one, the tiles one? When does that one deliver?
That one should be
Isn't it
delivering
like any day.
3
now?
hours to go.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I thought that was really close to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours. I don't even remember what my pledge is. Let's look see what I pledged on that. So
all in.
119 for the all in.
Called it.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I just backed Song of Ice and Fire Tactics
Mhm.
on GameFound.
That
That one's over already, but
does look cool though.
it does look really cool, and I got the all in on that one too.
Yeah.
So we'll get that kick-ass ginormous dragon.
Yeah. Dennis, I just read your comment. So there's a knockoff version of the Artis Opus. I have not heard of them.
So-
Be interesting to see how good they are.
That's the army painter version.
Cool. We'll
I
have
have
to-
some Army Painter ones, but I'll tell you what, the Artis Opus ones are nice.
I mean, yeah, but my 3 Army Painter one, it's a set of 3 was like $30-$35.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to argue with that price difference.
I mean, if I don't like it, I just go buy 5 more sets for what
Yeah.
you
Okay. Fine.
No, but they work good. I like them. You know?
Yeah. What's that, Chris? I can't see.
Artify dry brush set
Oh.
Nice.
knockoffs.
Okay. Very
Still
cool.
in new in plastic.
Yeah.
Only dropped once.
Oh, there you go. Here, he'll fix you. It's not in
Yeah.
plastic
All right. Let's
anymore.
move on down the road to our next news item, and this comes to us from Firelock Games,
Yes.
and this is Port Royal,
Yep.
an adventure skirmish miniatures game set in the Caribbean. Is this like Pirates of the Caribbean?
Well, it's
Well,
definitely pirate related.
I mean, the
so,
pictures look really good.
yeah.
So it's basically a skirmish version
Mhm.
of their games. So
Yeah, largely it'll play in a 2x2.
okay.
So.
So it'll be terrain dense, small war bands, basically. Looks good. And I think it uses existing models. I don't think there's anything truly new.
There's going to be a 2-player starter set. I don't
Yeah.
know if they're repeat models
Okay.
or not, but
Okay. So, yeah.
it looks cool. I was chatting with Mike, so we'll definitely catch up with him at Adepticon, get the scoop on this.
Okay.
Right.
Very cool. All right. Moving on down the road. So we're going to go to a Facebook page. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it.
Facebook? Yeah, it's on the internet.
Yeah. But somebody had to show off some cards. Just
I
saying.
did. We won't dwell on this because I talked about it already
Yeah,
at the
but-
beginning. But yeah, there's my Jafar. And that is my the other Enchanted, which is a song card from Hercules.
So yeah, if you are into collectible card games, Dawn is your person to talk to.
It's true.
Right.
So, all right, moving on down the road. WizKids has a pre-order open right now for Star Trek Into the Unknown, I think it's called.
I am pretty excited about
So,
this.
for anybody who's played Fantasy Flight games, Armada,
This is the Star Trek answer.
pre-painted, pre-assembled flight Starship Tactics. The cool thing is about the Enterprise, was this the D? The one from Next Generation, is that the D? The saucer actually removes from the body. It's kind of cool.
As it should.
Hmm.
So,
It looks pretty cool. So they are running like a bajillion learn to play games of this as a preview at Adepticon. So we for sure will have to
yeah, you can see it's
Yeah.
very similar
check
bases,
that out.
flights. So, it is essentially a Star Trek version of Armada. Yep, the data cards, the whole 9 yards. So, if that's your kind of thing,
There's a lot of small text on those cards. I'll be real curious to see how big those are and
Yeah.
whether I can read them.
all right.
Yeah,
That
right.
takes care of Star Trek. That I was going to go to Gale Force 9 for the other thing, but Dawn, why don't you talk about it because it's not showing
Yeah,
up.
it's not posted in there because I backed something on GameFound. Now I get all this GameFound stuff in my feed, and Gale Force 9 announced they've got a partnership with GameFound also, and they've got 3 projects coming up. And one of them is bringing back Star Trek Ascendancy, which is the existing board game they have, which is amazing. If you've never played it, it's such a good game. But it's going to introduce a new faction, as well as they're going to offer it as a bundle with everything, which is super cool because we ironically never got any of the expansion pieces with our games.
Mm.
So this will be a really good way to acquire all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so fun. You need a ginormous table to play it. Like it expands very quickly. But it's really fun. If you're a Star Trek person, it's a really, really cool game.
Yeah.
I think I get that from you.
See, that's what I was. Well, it was at your house for a while.
You got a second copy. Remember, we got multiple copies
Oh,
in the
you're right.
VIG swag bag.
You're right. Yep. Yes. Then, Chris, you do have that.
And the map. Or the mat.
Oh, he got the mat.
There
It's
was
gotta
a
say-
mat.
Yeah, remember the mat? The star
No,
mat?
there's no mat.
Too late. That's
He's
okay
got
because
it.
I'm going to back it for everything anyway. And whatever. So,
Of course we are.
Yeah.
All right. One last item. This is a historical related item. So Warlord Games is coming out with a new tank versus tank game. Let me bring it up. Does anybody know what it's called?
Fury? I don't know. Just guessing.
Dude, seriously?
World of Tanks.
Achtung Panzer! That's what it's called.
gotcha.
Tanks
What does
for the memory.
Panzers mean in German, Chris?
I don't know.
Wait, your high school German's going to great use. Tank.
I can order a
Panzer
beer.
means tank.
Ah, attention tank.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like Actun baby.
So as you can see, they are creating a tank versus tank game. And if Jim was here, he would talk about the ranges of 28 millimeter tanks on a table. And from what I'm looking at, these are all already, nothing here looks new. These terrain pieces you get in some of the starter sets for bolt action. And these look like all bolt action tanks. They're just repurposing stuff to create a new rule set for tank versus tank combat. It'll be interesting to see how this plays. We'll talk to John Russell probably.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and my understanding is Battlefront answered as well. Let me see if I can pull them up. Well, I don't want to do it on this page. I almost lost our page.
Do you type better when you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's got to sound great at work.
Right?
Does it change when you're upset?
No, it becomes some words that are not appropriate to say on the air.
or straight up muttering like
Yeah.
Probably not appropriate to
old
say at
school
work either. But that
cartoons.
doesn't stop you.
Clash of Steel. So
Oh.
they have a 15 millimeter version called Clash of Steel, which is tank versus tank. So I'm going to be honest with you. It'd be interesting to learn more about this because they already have like Team Yankee and because Clash of Steel, I understand, is after 46, right? So brand new game design from Gale Force 9 Battlefront, blah, blah, blah. Tabletop 4 initial forces, German, British, American, Soviets. And it's supposed to be like, what if after World War II? Well, that's what Team Yankee is, isn't it? Ish.
And thus 1947.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
that-
is it just that? Well,
That'd be
Team Yankee
totally
still has troops, though,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
is this just
This is-
removing the ground?
So
troops?
here's my opinion on these. And again, I have not played either of them or very little other than what I've read. It almost seems like World of Tanks on
Mhm.
miniature. And Gale Force 9 already does World of Tanks, you know? But as Dennis says, he heard that all the tanks in the game, if they're on the table, they're in range.
Yep.
Which makes sense because realistically,
Probably should be, yeah.
yeah. 28 millimeter tank battles. What's the problem? Doesn't everyone have a spare tennis court to play toy? I don't anymore. No. But hey, it's just to get some things on the table and just roll a whole bunch of dice and blow crap up. You know, that's what it's about. It's not, I don't think it's ever been meant to be serious, historical. You know, this is how it should be. It's just everybody
pick
like
whatever tank you
big
think looks
stompy
cool.
robots, and big stompy tanks, and blow shit up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
You know, push your little dude around.
yeah.
And then with everything, being in range, it's like Dennis says, it's all about being able to position your tank so that way
Cover concealment.
you can get the enemy before he gets you, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
tactics. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Let's switch gears out of the news and let's talk about our topic before we go off the tangents of other things. Solo Wargaming. Marty, this is kind of your forte.
It turns out I play with myself a lot. You're welcome. Go ahead, timestamp that.
Yeah. Gosh.
I'll give you a moment.
Don't worry. The new AI that I've paid for that does the descriptions for
Oh,
our
Lord.
videos is going to have a field day with that one.
Oh, you're welcome.
Dennis says, "What a tanker is a blast." Now that's Two Fat Lardies.
Two Fat
if I
Lardies, yeah.
remember correctly. All right, Solo Wargaming.
Show is
Marty,
right.
what is your favorite solo war game?
Battle Space.
Would it happen to be?
I'm a huge fan of Robert Salter from Tabletop Games.
Yeah.
That I mean, this first of all, this dude had the perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
This thing came up on Gamers Vault in March of 2020. What was going on in March of 2020?
Oh, a little pandemic.
Yeah, and super lockdown starting, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You could I don't remember what it was like $9, $12 for the PDF,
Yep.
which and that's it. That was all they had back then. You know?
Yep.
So I'm like, looks cool. I'll try it. Love it. You know, it's a low model count. It's easy. It's a fairly low model count. Turns out, if anybody, even when I play a game solo, it turns out the enemy still puts a whooping on me sometimes. Not gonna lie, I've had a couple of games where I'm like, why are there 40 bad guys out here? This is because I've only got 4 dudes. That's happened a couple of times, but
Mhm.
you know, it is a fairly it's not super crunchy, which is in my wheelhouse because I hate bookkeeping and getting super crunchy with things. I'm just here for a good time. I want to move my dudes and shoot things and blow stuff up. This game does that.
There you go.
And the amount of community generated banned content that is available primarily through their Facebook page is off the chart. I mean, there are whole other systems that are based on Battle Space that are in there.
That's
So
cool.
there's a ton of stuff. So you instead of playing as like a ranger or a special forces guy, you can play as like the fake CIA.
Yeah.
You can play as a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. So I was looking at the Modifius site, and the book is releasing in hardback or paper form in April. I already have the PDF because I pre-ordered, but I noticed something, Marty. If I go to Table Salt Games, his website doesn't come up.
Try Google.
I'm on Google.
Weird.
And if you Google, it says Table Salt Games, and what comes up is a card shop. It is his logo. Well, kind of his logo. So it's like, did he sell out to Modifius? But if you go to his
he's got other
YouTube
games,
channel, you go to his YouTube channel, because his Facebook page says Table Salt Gaming Designs. Maybe it's Gaming Designs. Let me look up that. Maybe it's not Table Salt Games. Let's look up that.
I was gonna say because he's got other games.
Designs.
Oops, what happened?
It went to Facebook. Yeah, I don't see a webpage anymore.
Because he's got Rusty Blade. He's got some hero and villains game. I can't remember the exact name of.
Yeah.
Basically, it's superheroes fighting against each other.
But he's been doing a lot of like YouTube video reviews of miniature war games.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of wondering if he's kind of transitioned out of retailing and just doing other things. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting a actual printed copy of the rules. Like I said, we have the rules.
Well, it's supposed to
honestly when he
have all
told
your markers
us
and all that jazz in there too. So
yeah, when Robert told us back almost a year ago, I want to say, that Modifius was taking it over or going to produce it, I should say. We were thinking we were going to get like a 2-player starter set.
Yeah, it's been over a year because last year at Adepticon, I was putting the clamp on them trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? We haven't heard anything about our boys' game.
Yeah.
And of course it was, the crickets were on rage. They're like, oh, Battle Space, Robert who? No, we've got this going on. I forget what was coming out at the time, but they were pushing other stuff.
But yeah, that's a good solo game. for you guys who like other options for solo wargaming, if you looked at our title slide today, let me see if I can bring it up. I don't know why our internet is running a little slow.
Chris Chaplin says Haywire's solo game is good.
Oh, yeah?
Haywire. Haywire.
Yeah, I don't know what.
No, it's in there somewhere. But Chris, tell me more about Haywire, buddy.
Yep.
I know nothing about it.
Not
Chris,
you.
Chris Chaplin, the guy that knows.
But Victoria Cross 2, it's a game.
He always has to have something that references Works Drift.
Andy's locked up. Wonder if we're still
Yeah.
broadcasting.
Game published by Worthington Press.
Hey.
I backed it
Oh,
on. Yeah, we're having some internet connection.
you had locked up pretty bad there, Bill.
Sorry about that. Yeah, just having some pauses and some internets. But and then a friend of mine who likes for me to spend money showed me WoFun miniatures.
Who is that friend?
And
I
so
didn't
I bought
mention it in the news. It was all Chris. That's what I'm gonna go with.
So I bought the set that goes to complement the board game. So it comes with the buildings and the terrain and really great acrylic minis to enhance the game. So that's a great game you can play solo. Is there other games, Marty, that you've played solo?
So Uncle Adam and Vince Venturella started their own little gaming company, I don't know, 3 years ago, called Snarling Badger Games. And basically they put out one game a year. It's miniature agnostics. They don't want anything to do with miniatures per se, as far as getting into design and manufacture them. They want to make their rule sets. And all their games have a solo component. Their first game, Rain in Hell, did not have a solo component. So the feedback that they got from the community is, hey, why can't we have solo rules for this? So they created a supplement for it. And in the 2-3 games that they've released since, everything that they've got now has solo play built into their rule sets.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Rain in Hell is the only one that I played. It's demons fighting for control of hell. Well, except for one faction that just wants to destroy hell and everything in it, which is weird because they're in it. I don't know. They're demons. But I don't know. It gave me an excuse to paint a lot of rocks red. So because I had
There
to
you
have
go.
some terrain.
Yep.
So for everybody out in the audience, if there are preferred solo games, we'd love to hear about it. Inside miniatures games, tabletop games. I know there's solo war games out there, but the ones we play usually take at least 2 people.
I mean, and so my preference obviously isn't a war game, but I like my all-out war. So my Walking Dead, and you can
play that solo,
you
right?
can play that solo, and it's good stuff.
I think particularly since the pandemic started, that even games have either included. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, Chris just said that game's free. I'll be checking on that momentarily. I'm
You just hit Marty's keyword, free.
Free.
Yeah.
Ding.
I'm in. Son of a gun, I'm in. But I think that since the pandemic in particular happened, I think that spurred a lot of people, one, asking for solo games, and 2, game designers responding with either a straight up solo game or a solo option to existing games.
Mm-hmm.
And then where that didn't happen, there's a lot of community created content to like, hey, you want to play this game? They didn't give you any solo rules. I made up this AI. Let's play our
Right.
little game by ourselves over here, and then they they'll fix their own games. They'll do it through community feedback and whatnot. So I think that's pretty cool.
Good morning, Tom. Yeah. So, like I said, if anybody in the audience has a preferred solo war game, love to hear about it because we'd love to share with other people. Obviously, there are video versions of war games that you can play solo. I've done a couple, but sometimes you just want to put minis on a table and go for it, right? I think the next show we're going to talk about some alternatives to miniature-based games. I don't know. We'll see. Something might else come up. Because I actually have a card-based war game called Onus. I don't know if anybody's ever played it, but it's little 3x5 cards that have the armies printed on it. Like, it's like a stand of miniatures. So instead of pushing miniatures around, you just slide these cards around on the tabletop. And I have terrain but I've seen people actually take, like 6 mil guys and put it on there as on the card. So you have 3-dimensional.
Did I play that one with you? I don't think so. Joe did. Did
Joe
you play
did.
with Joe?
Yeah. Joe did. So definitely looking forward to that. Tomorrow's video will probably have me painting one of the 2 leaders from the Waterloo box set.
Are you going to actually crack out the artist opus?
I don't know yet.
I mean,
I have other brushes. I probably want to use the other brushes up, just to use them up, and then go from there. They're just really nice brushes. Yeah, I mean, I know it's silly. You pay money for them and you're not going to use them. But I have other brushes I want to get through first. Use those up, and then I don't know. We'll see. I might just go, I want to use them. So who knows?
So kind of back to our solo gaming.
Yes, please.
So here's you can play any game solo by playing both sides, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Not necessarily the best experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult, one, to do that objectively, and two, you want to win against yourself, kind of thing. So that can be a little bit challenging. Now,
and having secret strategies against yourself doesn't work.
Yeah.
That modality is probably not going to work.
I was gonna say it does with me because I don't remember it anyway. So I too am as surprised at the end of the game.
My multiple personalities going on, right?
But having some sort of an AI that controls the bad guy, or if it's like a cooperative game that you pare down to just one. Although playing the cooperative games where perhaps you're playing more than one character, to make it a solo game, those oftentimes translate pretty well.
Yep.
Because the AI is already built in there for the bad guy or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So instead of you playing, instead of 4 people playing characters, it's you playing 4 or whatever.
And sometimes that's really cool because it almost forces you to play. Like we all have our favorites, right? If you're gonna play a game like that, we tend to gravitate towards certain ones. And if you do that, it kind of makes you branch out a little bit, and you might be like, "Oh, that was really fun. Like I like that playing that model." So.
Well, and I think it also gives you an opportunity to kind of get a little bit more narrative, more kind of into that particular character. So you're like, okay, since I'm playing all of them, I know that this guy is this way and this person's this way. So I'm going to lean into whatever their main characteristic traits are, even though it's not necessarily my play style or the way I do it. If I know that this dude is a jerk, but he's super competent, I'm going to play him as the competent jerk. If I know this person's really nice, but they're an idiot, I'm going to play him as the nice idiot. And we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Kind of like, hey, I've got a 17 charisma on my D&D dude. He could talk to anybody. Oh, but his intelligence is like 6, so he can't talk well with them. Kind of like me.
We might regret the conversations he starts with other people, but and Tuffy likes Mansions and Badness solo,
which doesn't surprise me at all when she's out.
It's actually a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just saying her other job of paranormal hunting.
Yeah, Mansions of Madness is a really good game. We actually did a demo of the latest edition of it at Gen Con a few years back. Remember, we went and did the Fantasy Flight thing, and then we did demos of their new releases. So, yeah, it was good. It's a good game. A lot of fun. All right. Any other solo ideas, guys?
Video games
Yeah.
we've talked about.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, they can be pretty immersive.
Yeah, especially when you've got the full 3D,
Yep.
VR.
Yep. When you go VR, and I'm telling you what, man, the new stuff is just amazing.
It is
Um,
nothing like getting airsick in a game.
all right. Let us transition a little bit to industry news or state of industry.
We go.
Mhm.
GW. Marty, you want to give us a little background on what you were telling us earlier?
These rat big God goobers.
Woosa.
So GW has elected to essentially move back into a lottery system for inventory for their third-party retailers, particularly on like their new orders and whatnot, or pre-orders, new stuff, new releases and whatnot. Thereby pretty much forcing everyone to go to them, to GW, to get said products.
Or wait.
I believe that it is my personal opinion. It's a combination of one, even though they own the entire process, manufacturing through retail sale, cradle to grave, the whole thing, they cannot generate enough product to satisfy demand.
Now,
So,
are they doing it on purpose?
I don't think they're doing that part on purpose.
You don't think so? To drive up the demand because people know it's in short supply?
I think they literally don't have the capacity. I think they're probably doing what they can do. I mean, could they would have, they're at the point where they would have to turn off one game to focus on another, I think, in order to increase capacity, and they're not going to do that. So I don't think that's a legit thing. I think what they're trying to do is just cut out third-party retailers because they're GW.
Mhm.
They own everything else. Why include anyone else? And I think that them, and they've done this before, and I don't remember how long ago it was, but
Didn't Steve say like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago. We were talking about it last night. And maybe it's a temporary thing for them to get caught up on production. Maybe it's a way for them to simply control the market a little bit. So one of the things that GW has huge issues with, which it's just being the victim of their own success, is scalpers. And they've actually been trying to address that. I mean, good on them for that, but it turns out scalpers are winning.
Yeah.
So again, trying to control the environment and where their product goes. I would not think anything so altruistic of them as like, we're doing this so scalpers can't have it, because realistically, they don't give a crap who buys their stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
Guess what? The scalpers can buy it through GW directly, and they're still gonna flip it and
well,
sell
they
it.
did cancel a lot of orders on the
I was
last
gonna
pre-order.
say, but turns out when they then put those back up on there, the scalpers went in.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, it was sort of effective. I mean, the scalpers did not get what they would have originally gotten, but they, you're not going to root out all evil in this world. It doesn't matter. But I just have huge beef with them doing this. I think it is literally a malicious intent to needle out the little guys and third party vendors on this stuff. That's my opinion. Not news.
And the
opinion.
other thing you said before the show was how you put it, it's a dick move.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the thing that I was saying, which I got voted down on, but they've got a new set of owners, and the owners don't know or care that this has been tried before, and it pisses off everybody. So if you've got bean counters running a company, then they're gonna make stupid choices.
See, and so my argument to that is, they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing it, and they're doing it for that purpose because it's venture capitalists that own them. You don't get to be a venture capitalist by not understanding how to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. So if they cut out every third party vendor, they don't give a crap if it pushes their bottom line.
Yeah,
Matter
but
of
see,
fact,
Dennis
they'll
has
do
got
it
a
specifically to push their bottom line.
Yeah, but Dennis has a great
is-
point. Go ahead,
yeah.
Chris.
no. Go ahead, Bill.
To Dennis's point, when you cut out your local game stores, who are your biggest sponsors of games, tournaments for 40K outside of conventions, nobody's going to play it anymore because who are they going to go play it at, right? Yeah, if you have a GW store nearby, but GW store has rules about how you can bring your miniatures in and, et cetera, et cetera. So all those stores are going to stop supporting GW.
Yep.
Which is going to make it very tough for people that want to play,
Yep.
So
And let me tell you, I know I've talked about this before a long time ago, but as somebody who is not a person that has played GW games or whatever, but our kids did, Christmas shopping, I use as an example. I had to go to a GW store to get something that Cody wanted off of his Christmas list one year. I have never felt so unwelcome in a game store. I was a fish out of water. I didn't know what I was looking for. Like I knew the name of the thing or whatever, but that environment is just so different. And so from a approachability standpoint, for especially if it's a parent that is like their kid has expressed some interest in maybe getting into something like that, it's feels more natural to go into a regular game store where it feels more like a friendly community and a welcoming environment
You're a friendly
than
local
walking
game
directly
store.
into the lion's den. That's just my opinion. And if you're not going to have that as a venue, shame on them. Like that's a miss.
But you know what? You have Mantic, you have some of the other people going,
Oh yeah, come
on.
over.
I mean,
yeah.
Mantic hugely profited off of when GW ended Fantasy.
Yeah.
Years ago, 10 years ago, I think it was now.
And one-page rules ain't doing so bad.
Nope. So yeah, if there's always going to be your diehard GW players and fans, and they'll continue to play in their basements or wherever. And I know over like in England, you have game clubs. We don't have game clubs like they do over in Europe and in the UK.
Because we have other things we could do.
Well, no, it's just because our game stores are our game clubs for the most part.
Structures are just different.
Yeah, it's structured different. Where in the UK, you actually have a club. You rent out the space in a church or somewhere in their meeting hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just a different world. So, and Americans are guilty of buying the latest, greatest things. And then if you piss them off, they're just going to find something else to spend their money on. Look what happened with Fantasy. GW's cut Fantasy. People dropped it like a hot rock, and they went to something else. So,
yeah.
Yep.
But it just amazes me that that GW would do that when if they did a census of their customer base, where is their largest group of customers come from? Third-party retail stores. If you look at the numbers, I can't believe that GW Direct has a bigger customer base than what they get from third-party stores.
So
Now
here's
they're
the
not
thing, though. Maybe
ruling them out.
because they don't have that, that's why they're doing it. So they will have it.
No, they will never be able to handle it. They'll never be able to handle it.
Their
100%
website
agree.
sure can't.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
I mean-
the thing is, they're not getting rid of it. They're just
No. I'm not saying they're getting rid of
delaying
it,
the
but
delay.
they're just making it
for the
less
third party.
accessible.
Yeah. They're
And they're
they're
throttling
just
it
delaying
down.
it.
Well, they're still reducing the amount of product that's going out
Yeah.
to third-party stores. And there's no predictability to which store is getting how much product.
Right.
So if I'm the consumer, do I want to try and do a pre-order through my local game store like I've always done? But the owner's like, "Hey, bud, I'll put your name on a list, but I don't know."
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no, I get it. I get it. I know.
Yeah.
But we've
That's not
also been talking
how you
like
any product.
the third party vendor is no longer going to have anything.
It's very possible they won't.
Some of them
Yeah.
aren't.
And a
Sure.
lot of those
You lose the
third-party
lottery.
stores rely on
Yep.
2 big companies for most of their income.
Yeah.
Magic
Yep.
and GW.
Yep.
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 Dennis.
I know, that's classic. And Tuffy, I'm sorry you had that experience, and that is exactly how I felt when I went to the GW store. Like
Yep.
it's really sad. I mean,
Yeah. When I used to go to the
Man.
GW store, I didn't like it because it was like parents were dropping their kids off there for babysitting. So you
yeah.
have all these little maggots running around, and I just wanted to smack them. And yeah,
Well, you've never been known as the most patient man in the world, Chris.
no.
I mean, I could see Tuffy in the store. She's like, "Do you know who I am,
Yep.
sir?"
Drop the stuff, walk
Yeah.
out, go buy it around the corner. Yeah.
Deuces, I'm out.
Yep.
But
Yep.
all right, so we're
Ah.
not going to totally slam on GW because they do make good miniatures. I mean,
The
honestly,
models are beautiful.
Incredible
Like,
fucking detail.
yeah,
Yeah.
quality wise, I do really like
yeah.
Yeah.
But
a lot of their models.
let's talk about a historical company that I've heard rumblings on social media about, and that's Battlefront. I've read a few things from customers who've gone into their local game store and asked their store to order them if they didn't have it in stock, only for the game store to say, I can't. And they're like, what do you mean you can't? Yeah, Battlefront doesn't let me order it.
Interesting.
You have to either get it through their website if you're able to.
Oh.
That's very interesting. And you know what? One thing has nothing to do with the other, but in that vein,
Mhm.
in my Adepticon prep, their numbers are down. Like the tournament participation attendance, as I'm looking at things, I'm looking at how many tickets
Yeah.
are, for certain events, and they're not full. And I just thought, okay, like, is this a trend we're seeing? Are people backing away? I don't know.
They used to be full. Like we
Yep.
used to have the Flames of War Nationals at Adepticon, and
And they still do,
Still
but
do.
it's not full.
that's weird. It's
Yeah.
usually gone immediately. So it's like, is Battlefront struggling to maintain supplies and stock, and they're kind of pulling back, hence GW, and you can only order it through them, and then they produce it as they get the orders instead of trying to produce it in whatever.
That's interesting.
And they've changed the rules, and I know some people haven't been happy with the rules changes, and
It's all a great Chinese conspiracy because that's where they make this stuff.
well, I mean, think about it. They don't
there's
produce their own
great truth to
miniatures. It
that,
all
I
comes
think.
from China.
Mhm.
So
I do think that I don't know that it's necessarily some sort of great conspiracy, but I do think that Chinese production capacity has been greatly affected
Yeah.
over the past 3, 4, 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So even what you're saying is, even though the Great Wall of China has been there for a long time, it's finally slowing down armies.
Well, that's on the other side, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Very
But
little
here's
sleep.
another thing. I am beginning to wonder if some game companies are going to get away from producing miniatures at all and just have rule sets and
Embracing the availability of 3D
3D printing.
printing technology.
yeah, they'll release
One-page rules.
STLs
Yep.
and say,
And
if you-
one-page rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
so
So one-page rules does that though, because
Mhm.
it's miniature agnostic. However, they also have STLs that they've created for their games.
there you go.
Yep.
You can go either way, but they're not, they don't have a warehouse full of plastic somewhere that
Yeah.
they got to send to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Then it
kinda
comes,
genius.
once you have the file, you can print as many as you want and share it or whatever. There isn't a,
Sharing is wrong.
it is
Stealing.
wrong. But, it's like back in the 80s when we had our computer games and they're like, dude, make me a copy
Rip
of
me a
that.
copy of that.
Yep. Or CDs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but getting back to the GW situation and, a little bit on the Battlefront situation.
Do you think the printing is affecting it at all?
Does that
Tuffy
even
there.
count, Tuffy? I don't know. They try.
That's good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you
Hey, I'm going to
think
be honest with you. I like reading those books. I just read the rule book for the old world.
Yep.
It's a well done book. I enjoyed the
Yeah.
books. They did
Marty
really-
was raving about the one for
The limited edition Dominion core rulebook.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. It's an art book. It is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I mean so it's got all the lore.
you're
but
you're paying for art.
Yeah.
It's got all the pictures in there. There's 12 pages of rules or whatever in there in the back, but there's 140 pages of fluff,
Lore.
if you will, up front
Yeah.
that just has gorgeous photography with it. That's
Mhm.
that's really what I liked. I was like, I did not realize this was in here. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you are getting into the old world and you buy one of the 2 starter sets, the Bretonians or the Tomb Kings, they come with rule books.
And see, this is why I feel better about my card accident.
So you don't need to order yourself a rule book because they already come with rule books.
The full rule book or some cheap.
Full hardback rule book.
We have a plethora of rule books.
I have 3 now.
Come on. Oh, I see three windows here.
The guard dog's going off. So
Dragonfly land on the back window.
who knows?
More like Amazon guy probably delivered something.
Yeah.
What? No. I'm
Yeah.
shocked
Yeah.
to hear an Amazon delivery at your house.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So this is no joke. Marty and I were over at Bill and Don's in Plano, and we looked out the window one time, and there were 3 Amazon trucks in your front yard.
shut up,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, in the cul-de-sac. And it was like that Spider-Man meme.
Hey.
We get our money's worth.
Yeah.
That Prime,
Jeff,
it pays for itself.
That does.
Jeff
It does.
Bezos loves you. He's got to pay his ex-wife somehow. Good times.
Yeah, crazy.
Amazon delivered another order.
Entirely possible, Tuffy. Everything is on the table at this point.
But so it comes down to getting kind of back on topic. Do you think GW, and people are right, GW has done this in the past, and then if you didn't follow them previously, they did this in the past where they, restricted third-party resale to a lottery system or however they did it. And their social media was very tight. You couldn't post a lot of stuff. They did not, they withdrew from the community pretty much, right? And then what's his name? Was it Andy, the guy that we dealt
Andy
with?
Smiley. Yeah.
Andy Smiley was hired on, and that was 2015, 2016-ish, maybe. We met him at Adepticon.
Mm-hmm.
We were one of the few people. Okay, go back even a little bit further than that. When we were over in UK for Salute one year, I think it was the year prior to that, the crew, us from Beast of War, did Salute, and then we met up with somebody from GW who allowed us to come to Nottingham, and we got a tour of
That was a
Warhammer
fun day.
World, and they fed us, and
At Bugman's.
at Bugman's
was
Cafe,
Yeah, right, well, of
and
course.
they actually filmed an interview there,
Mm-hmm.
which was unheard of at that
What?
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was unprecedented.
Yeah. So that
Now, to be fair, we had to submit the interview.
yes,
for
tough
them
years. They let me into the UK.
they had to review it and approve it before it
Yes.
could be posted.
Yes.
But
It's probably the reason they caused Brexit.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like, top secret, and they had to approve what we did, and there were questions we weren't allowed to ask about.
Mhm.
It was like doing an interview with the president or something. So, but they had not let any other company do it at that point. So, I don't know why they're so the way they are, about things. You would think being the most popular, let's be honest, they are the most popular war game.
Mhm.
And you'd think they'd be open and inviting to their community, and it just blows my mind.
Right.
I think what happened is they had a shareholder meeting, and their shares aren't performing as well as they wanted them to. So they're like, how do we tighten the market to gain more capitalize on our money? Well, if we stop third party sales because we're selling it at a discounted rate to a distributor rate, right? because stores don't pay full retail. Obviously, they wouldn't make any money. This way, GW can take the whole kit and caboodle, and then their shareholders
At least initially.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing you could do is just look at it. They're like, oh, it's pre-order and it's coming out on this day. First off, I've never seen anything drop on the day that they say it's going to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, you're like, oh, that's coming out. They say November. Okay, January. I'll be able to buy it in January. And just tell yourself that.
I when Legion came out, I got it at pre-release date. I mean, I know they've had some issues. I mean, nobody's perfect by any means, honestly.
Oh, no.
But
I mean, outside the four of us, of course.
No, I claim not. No,
not it.
I am not being held to that standard, sir.
Yeah, no, and y'all know that I was being sarcastic.
Yes.
I mean, it's just
Of course.
It's just as a gamer, it just frustrates when you feel like you're fighting against the company you are supporting.
Yeah.
If they didn't have customers, they wouldn't have money.
Yeah.
Right.
So why do they keep shooting themselves in the foot and pissing off their customers? I don't get it. But on the other hand, you got diehard people that will just spend money anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's an abusive relationship.
It is. That's a really good way to put it, actually. And it's like the diehards, they're going to spend the money regardless. So I mean, and unfortunately, that has taught GW that this is okay to do.
Yeah.
Well, and
No one draws a line in the sand. So
yeah, they've also leaned very hard into like limited production, limited releases. Let's build the hype and the FOMO.
Yep.
And drive everyone here at one point. On whatever the day is that you can order, sell it all out that day, and then we'll just go on
move on to the next thing and not support what you got.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because I belong to a Legion Imperialis group, and they're just pissed as hell because, we just had another book release, I think last weekend, and it was gone in 5 minutes. Nobody can get it. And then there's supposed to be some other stuff, and they just can't get it. And it's like, are they just purposely letting it seems like they literally build up the hype to, bring Legion back, Epic, and everybody's excited. Epic's coming back, and they get this big frenzy going. It's like a feeding frenzy, right? Everybody jumps on pre-orders, sells out of everything, and then GW is like, done. Move on to the next cash cow.
Yeah.
The old world. You paid. I'm afraid to admit how much I paid for those boxes.
Good call.
And most of the minis are old minis.
More than my 4 boxes of Lorcana. By
yes, they will.
Yeah. You should go buy more Lorcanas.
I mean, when they say old world, they're not kidding because the sculpts are from '93.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
So.
But they're charging you 2024 prices.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn straight.
And I it is what it is. You pay for what. Again, it just.
Yep.
And they got, I think the orcs coming out next and the dwarves or something like that, if they come out, right? And they're probably going to be old sculpts too. And people are just getting mad because it's like, I'm willing to pay you this money, but give me something in return, a value, right? Yep. And it just seems like it's becoming obvious that GW is just in it for the money, that they don't have a love for the game.
Yeah. Now, for me, like I look at my armies, and some of the cool stuff is online only. And a lot, I'd say maybe a third of the product is out of stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about it?
Well, I think the GW preview at Adepticon could be very interesting. It'll be extra interesting if people ask the right questions.
Will they let them ask the question?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because last time it was, I can't talk about that. Remember?
Yep.
Sisters of Battle was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. Or I think a retailer actually got up and started asking something. Goes, hey, stop! I just can't talk about that.
Yeah.
They're famous for I can't talk about that.
I'll make them say that on camera a bunch of times. I'm down.
And
give me a list.
We see Marty escorted out the back.
It won't be the first time.
That's true.
It just, but
That's it, sir.
again,
Get over to the Hyatt and play with your historical people.
yeah,
We're outta
GW
here.
has great minis. You know, regardless of what you think of the rule sets from edition to edition, obviously they play somewhat okay because people play them, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I mean, you go to Adepticon, that main game hall is full of 40K.
Those events are full.
And
Like,
then
that is
the next
not
game
a
hall
problem.
over,
Yeah.
almost half of that is AOS.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And maybe that's why they think they can do these.
yeah, because they
stupid
numbers
things.
support it. You know, well,
Yep.
fuck it. We'll shit on it until they, you know, something changes, and then
They're
we'll
also
fix
going to be
something.
taking a huge bump in popularity after Harry Clavel drops his Warhammer
Cavill.
shows and stuff. Or
Yeah.
Well, if it gets made.
All right,
you
so
know,
here's one of the things I don't. So, GW's got their big Warhammer pop-up store that they have at Adepticon, right?
mm-hmm.
The first year I was there, I was like, "Hey, how much is this stuff?" I can't. And he's like, "I'll look it up on the webpage." And I'm like, "You have a webpage for your pop-up store?" And he's like, "No, the GW webpage." Let me see if I got this right. We're paying webpage retail prices right here and in person. He's like, "Yeah." Did you know I can buy this from a dude over here 3 aisles over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? It's actually
See ya.
easier. Hold on. And it's actually easier to just scan the barcode with your Amazon app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you for the suggestions. I'll have to look at some of those. I love War Games Vault.
Yeah. He's got a couple. Well, and he's got one below it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'll
so-
definitely look at those because
Yeah,
there's
so-
a ton. If you guys ever want to just
Don't
go
help.
somewhere to look at rules for just whatever, go to War Games Vault and you will find rule sets for everything. Just about.
Yeah.
It's a great place to check it out.
Mhm.
You know, and they're not terribly expensive. So, but yeah, you know, but to my point, GW not caring, there are other companies that passionately care about their
Yep.
games. Antic being one of them.
Yep.
You know,
Oh my gosh. Did you guys follow any of Mantic's posts when they announced the old world stuff and how they were not going to be supporting some of the factions in there? Like, he put out some kick ass posts about, bring your tired, huddled masses.
Yeah.
We will take you.
I
Like,
was gonna say-
it was the
He was dunking on him
Best.
hard.
it was just the best brand.
mhm,
Yeah, it was great.
yeah. So, and watch out in future. We'll be doing some Kings of War stuff too. We'll probably pick some up at Adepticon. We got to support Ronnie.
Yep.
We've known Ronnie for
So you bring in the big
years.
truck on the way up here?
I might have to.
Yeah, right.
and the horse trailer.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that crazy.
Yeah, you
Here's
will.
you.
But yeah.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, we know you, Bill. Sorry.
Let's start the pool now.
No, because I got to go to Disney, so I can't spend all my money.
It's true.
Says you. So
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if I'm buying that. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just yeah, it just mind blowing, just mind blowing.
Yeah, well, let's get,
It'd be interesting.
we've kicked that horse enough.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to happier
Yeah.
things. What you guys got coming up in the wargaming world? Anything you're excited about?
I've got a lot of painting coming up.
Who's doing
me.
it?
Although,
One of the things,
didn't you get Steve to paint one of your dudes for you though?
well, he said that.
Really?
Well, hold on.
I-
It was a antique miniature that he had, and he was using that commission to help repay for the ship that I printed.
Yeah, I was gonna say a deal was struck, and
A drill was
Okay,
made.
that's a
And
trade.
Chris, to answer your question, it 100% different. Wargaming groups here in the U.S., there aren't a lot of traditional wargaming clubs like you guys have in the U.K. Jim belongs to one actually, and that's
Yep.
why he's not on the show today. He's doing projects with the club
Creek
this
House?
weekend. But most wargaming group, there isn't wargaming groups. They meet at the local game store for games. There's a few here and there, but it is not like it is
Right.
in the UK.
Fully
Now,
hammered.
Marty and I are in
and,
one,
and they don't.
but we meet at Steve's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
unless a person hosts like a group, but it's not like the big official game clubs like you guys do. Some of the game clubs in the UK host conventions,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
So they have their games day. So it's a much different world over there, and for many things. But
that is a
wargaming,
piece. I mean, I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. I am envious
Mhm.
of that difference between
Yep.
places because I really wish we
I was gonna say,
had
well, if Marty moved his ass
a
down here
better.
sooner than
I know we could start our
yeah,
own.
well,
The
I'm
compound.
I'm
The
gonna be
compound.
I'm gonna be Holy Hammer South.
Yeah.
Does that mean I gotta bring Age of Sigmar?
I am not opposed to getting into.
I
Age
thought
of
you didn't like
Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar.
I don't.
You don't
dislike
like
it. I don't want
the armor dudes,
Yeah.
whatever they are,
I just-
Stormcast,
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
the Stormcast, not my
Hey,
thing.
that's what I was using to beat the crap out of Chris with last
I
night.
know. I
He
just don't
says beat
like.
the
I
crap.
just
It
don't like
took
all the
him
armor
all
on
game.
stuff. I like the more organic looking
The
things.
good news is they
so.
have those. So
I know
yeah,
they do.
you don't
That's
have
why I
to
said
complain.
I would totally do an Ent army.
Well,
So
Sylvaneth it is then for you. Have at it.
yep.
I mean, some of that stuff is cray cray. And I can see Bill doing the Deepkin. All the underwater dudes.
No, you're all elves.
I'm all elves. Elves
But
is my
that's the
thing.
problem because Sylvaneth have an elf.
I like wood elves and high elves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
Now I got to go watch
Yeah,
Lord of the
I mean-
Rings. Thanks a lot,
Hey,
Chris.
anytime I'm here for you, buddy.
see,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm here to play Skaven. I just don't have the army built yet because turns out those little clan rats aren't worth anything. I've got like 9 units of it. It's worth like 6 points. So
Yeah, I know, right? What do you mean I need 4,000
Wait a
more
minute,
of these?
Deepkin are elves?
yeah,
Are they?
yeah, the water elves.
Underwater elves?
Yeah,
Well,
riding
there you go.
sharks.
Then you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, now GW's see what GW has. It just when you think you're out, you're
Hey, and that wasn't me enabling.
And then
yeah.
So I figure until I get them going, since I had the dudes from the Dominion box, I'm gonna run Stormcast because basically it is the Space Marine / Thor of AOS.
Yep.
It's got lightning.
And that's what your daughter's gonna be playing.
Yeah. That.
Oh, Dennis, that's awesome.
Yep, that is awesome.
What? Nice. Yeah, Dennis. Drinks and snacks. That's what I'm talking. See, you got.
Well, so we kind of have that.
Support the gamers. You got to support the gamers.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
you just have a game, just this open space of tables, and just have a snack counter and
and
a couple of coolers.
we have that right here, Critical Grind.
Yeah.
Now, so Critical Grind, love them.
Yep.
So they bought out the space next to them, so they're 2 storefronts wide now, and the other side that they bought out, that is purely gaming space. That's
nice.
And they've
Yeah,
got
that's
a
awesome.
tabletop or a miniature war game tabletop there as well. So they got a 4x6 well, actually, I think it's an 8-foot table, isn't it?
Yeah,
they got a
they
huge
made a
table
4x8,
over there for tabletop miniature games.
Cool.
It's a coffee shop. Right in my wheelhouse, right?
Yep.
The only thing is,
Tough ears. It sounds
when
like
you
me.
talk about when you talk about snacks, I mean they've got little things.
But you can bring your own food in.
I was gonna say I'm the dude that's ordering food.
Do you rent the tables though?
No.
I mean, what is their?
Currently,
They
no,
might
but
have to.
It's coming.
Because I mean, how do you support that? I mean, it costs the business money for that
Right.
space and all that. You got to have some way of
Talking to
generating
Sean,
income.
That way.
Yeah, talking to Sean, what they're going to do is if you're coming in and you're saying I need 4 tables, most of the time it's first come first serve, and everything's cool with that. But if you say, hey, I need 4 tables on Sunday from noon to 5, well, what you have to do is you have to, for like the table, everybody has to pay money. It goes onto a gift card for that table, and then that gift card is used to purchase beverages. They want you to just purchase drinks, keep purchasing drinks.
Yeah.
They don't want you to come in, be there for 8 hours and have a $1.50 soda.
And that's
Yeah,
fair.
absolutely
I
fair.
mean,
And You've got a great bakery 3 doors down. You've got Papa John's 4 doors down. Anything else you could bring in there, and they're all cool with it.
I'm surprised they let
Oh
outside
no,
food in.
outside
That's
food
cool, I guess.
is welcome. I
Yeah,
hope so
we-
because I eat there Tuesday and
Oh,
Thursday.
by the way, guys, we have a new game for you to play with
What?
us. We haven't gotten it yet, but it's been ordered. You ready? Dawn says, this looks like a great game. Twilight Imperium.
Really?
If you don't know what it is,
Oh,
look
okay.
it up.
Really?
Now-
Dawn, you picked that one and said
Well, to be fair, it looks stunning on a table. Like
How
I
big
just,
was the table?
it was big. You could, well, I mean, we could play it on this table.
That
but
would
you
be
need-
small table.
But you need levels.
Yes.
But you need
it was
levels.
Ross's pictures.
Yeah.
Right. I saw Ross's pictures on Facebook, and like I've never seen it laid out on a table like that before. It was gorgeous. Don't know anything about it. Don't know how it plays, but it was
You're not-
really cool. It was
You're
quite
not
the
here for the
spectacle.
rules and stuff. It's just
I know.
Rule is cool.
No.
What cool is the rule?
Yes, Dennis.
That is the one.
I was gonna say I suspect
Because
so.
I saw people's comments and they're like, "That looks like a 3-dare," So
All right.
yeah.
And Marty, don't you have some information about Enemy Spotted Studio? Don't they have a new game that they're demoing?
Oh yeah, that's true. They did just release their game Blackout. So FYI,
Oh.
it's near future kind of post-apocalyptic game. Has its own set of miniatures that you can get with it. But yeah, they're rolling that out as we speak, and we'll be demoing that at Adepticon along with their other games. So they'll be playing in country there as well.
Is Julian going to be
Nice.
down?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hey,
You'll definitely need to
So,
get Julian over to do an interview.
him and
Mark.
I think there's going to be a crew of 3 or 4 of them. It looks like.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Marty, I need you to do me a favor. Reach out to Robert, and let's see if we can get him on the show to talk about Battlespace because we're coming up to the
100%.
release.
I'm in. I will.
And I've been talking to
Yourself.
the guys behind Contact Front. He's all
yeah,
about wanting
Carl?
to come on the show. Yeah, Carl.
Love him.
And
Carl and Mark.
he even wants to do a demo game with
Yes.
us, because, like I said, Jim and I did the first edition and we probably didn't give it a fair enough shake. And so he wants to come on and run a game with us just so we can get through it all good. And then
He's another dude that him and Martin with their original version of Contact Front that was through God's Eye Games back then totally got me
Yep.
through the pandemic. I played that game solo and I followed their games because they
Yeah.
streamed a lot of their games. And well, I am on lockdown with nothing to do. And they got me through a bunch of it. So I
There you
like
go.
their game a lot.
All right. Dawn, any final thoughts before we close out the show?
No, just looking forward to Adepticon.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to be there, make sure you come find us. We want to say hey. And if anybody thinks of anything specific that we need to check out that maybe we don't have on our radar, absolutely bring it to our attention.
And
Get
if
it on the
you
list.
happen to be at Adepticon that Friday night in the Hyatt Gaming Hall, the Historical and Gaming Hall, I guess
Yep.
they call it, look for our booth, and we'll be doing a little get together. And we'd love to see you, or just stop by the booth at any time and pick yourself up a little token. And great stuff. Chris, any final
Nope.
thoughts? Good. Marty.
Don't accuse me of thinking. Nothing significant to report.
All right.
sir.
Well, on that exciting note, yes.
Nailed it. Yeah.
On that disappointing note,
Yeah.
we will head on out. We thank you very much for listening to us or watching us, either or. Hey, I need a favor from you guys out there. We look at our video base and everything. 76% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribers. We just hit 1,600 subscribers yesterday. I
Nice.
believe it was.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
I know it seems like a small number compared to the big guys out there in YouTube land, but for us, every subscriber is Helps us. So if you could please, if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe.
And odds are you don't even realize that you're not, because
Yeah.
I just discovered when we were having this conversation that I am super guilty of it. I watch some people religiously that I thought I was subscribed to, and I wasn't. And
Yeah.
I'm like, now it's like, oh, let's fix this immediately.
So
So
make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button if you want to be notified of new content when it comes
The
out.
like.
Leave comments,
like,
likes,
share.
Oh, you're
yeah,
not
all
right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, everybody says every video you see on YouTube. It does help because what happens is the YouTube numbers and all that, and go from there. So,
And again, we
Yeah.
want ideas from everybody.
You know what, Dennis? We can make that happen.
should we have a dunk tank at the booth for Marty?
Or I think we should just like build a real sketchy platform. we should like all get together and have people build a sketchy platform.
It'll be like Jenga.
Yes.
We'll just get different size pieces of 2x4s, and we'll just have everybody.
I am going to show up in a special Sit Rep podcast branded bubble wrap. So
And a helmet, a special helmet.
Yeah. And
short bus helmet.
100%. Yeah. I have a bump helmet.
There you go.
Go figure, right?
Classic.
This guy.
Yeah, he's already broken up though. We can't have him fall. One of these times he ain't
That's
getting
true.
back up.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right, kids, we're gonna head on out. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend,
Yep.
and
Bye.
we will see you in a couple
Yes.
weeks.
Where's Fred?
Bye-bye.
Where's Fred?
You have been listening to the Sitrep podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Remember to join us every other weekend for a new episode of the podcast, and don't forget our other programming on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks for listening.